In Sacramento County, under the Department of Child, Family, and Adult Services, there is a place where kids can talk about anything that has happened to them. It's a place where children are listened to, understood, and helped. It's called the Safe Center.
We wanted to create a safe space, both emotionally and physically safe for children.
Kids of any age can talk to friendly interviewers who are as compassionate as they are well-trained.
All of my social workers have a master's degree in social work, and then they all have specialized training in forensic interviewing, which basically means they've learned how to talk to children and ask non-leading questions, ask questions in a way that are sensitive, child-friendly, and get the most information that we need for the investigation.
If you are coming into the Safe Center for a visit, this is what you can expect. Your visit to the Safe Center starts even before you arrive, with a good night's sleep and something to eat.
It's important that parents prepare their children to come in having had breakfast or lunch, depending on the time of their appointment.
Plan on a 2-hour visit. You'll check in downstairs, where you and your parent or caregiver will be escorted upstairs for a guided tour.
Or they're going to see the room that they'll actually be sitting in. They'll actually see the chair that they'll be sitting in. We point out the mirror, and then we have a team of people on the other side of the mirror, so we'll explain who that is and why they're back there.
The people on the other side of the mirror are your team. Your team needs information to help you, but they want you to be comfortable, which is why they're all behind the window, and you are in a comfortable chair next to your interviewer.
Sometimes children and families come in kind of thinking of an interrogation and what is that questioning going to look like. It is just a conversation, and our interviewers are so skilled at being able to get down on a developmental level with whatever age child we're seeing, and they're able to help that child feel as comfortable as possible very quickly.
During your interview, your parents or caregiver will be shown to a special family room. There, they can relax, read, or talk to a mental health clinician or a victim's advocate.
And that's where the advocates really explain the criminal justice system, their rights, which are constitutional in California. That's not the case across the country. So we go through the Victims' Bill of Rights with them.
This is a chance for parents or caregivers to get the support they need.
Letting them know, I'm here for you, let's sit, let's just have this space together is important for them to hear, and helping them understand the importance of linking them up to mental health services so the therapist can work on that trauma and the parents can learn additional skills to do for themselves.
The interview is the most important part of why you'll come to the Safe Center, because answering questions helps your team get all the information they need to help you.
Talking to somebody who's wearing a uniform and has a gun on their hip and microphones and flashlights in the middle of the night can be very intimidating and scary. So we've noticed that children tend to just be fearful of that. They don't want to talk. But when we bring them to the center and they interact with the professionals here, with the forensic interviewers, we can see the difference. They open up, they're a little more at ease, and they are willing to tell us what happened without fear.
The goal is to be able to minimize the times that the child has to talk about an event. And the Safe Center allows us to do that.
During the interview, your team is behind the window collecting information. We call this a multidisciplinary team because people representing several different agencies are part of that team.
I guess having the ability to experience that interview in one go together really helps. Like I said, helps CPS understand the wider picture of what's happening in this child and family's life.
And the goal is to obtain all the information, all of the details. And those details are ultimately going to help me navigate the investigation and hopefully bring justice to these kids.
Also behind the window on your team, members of the Sacramento County DA's office. They are attorneys that work to put together cases for court.
So we dedicate an attorney who is there for every interview. So attorneys often are in court and doing things, but we actually make sure there's always an attorney there to monitor the interview, to be involved in the interview as part of the team.
Doing your interview at the Safe Center does not mean you won't have to eventually go to court to testify. But what you say in the interview is an important part of the court process, which is why it's recorded.
If they're under the age of 12 at the time they did their SAFE interview, the moment the child leaves the witness stand, the SAFE tape gets to come in and the jury gets to hear it, and the jury gets told that it's considered the same as their in-court testimony. So it complements that testimony.
Once the interview is over, you'll join your parent or caregiver again and meet other helpful people.
When I find out that we have a family coming in, I will just learn a little bit of who the family is, kind of a little bit of what the trauma is, and then once once they get here to the Safe Center, I get to meet with the parents while the kids are doing their interview and talk a lot about just what are some common responses that kids might be feeling. That we're all here to serve the child, to serve the family, and it's everybody just coming together and finding the time of like, okay, we're focusing on this child to figure out their needs and to support the child.
You might also meet someone from the Family Justice Center down the hall if your family needs legal services.
We will share with them some of the services that we have available in terms of case management or crisis intervention, perhaps restraining order, petitions that our legal team can do, or just sit down and talk to them.
For decades, we've had a Safe Center, a place that has helped hundreds of children and their families get through a very difficult time. It's a place for your team to come together. Child Protective Services, victims advocates, law enforcement, attorneys from the DA's office, mental health clinicians, and your specially trained interviewer.
We are so thankful that we have a resource like the Safe Center.
Without each of our pieces, these families wouldn't have the closure, the justice, the support that they need.
It's really a team approach to make sure as soon as they leave here, everyone has a better understanding of what has happened and how can we best support this child and this family as they move forward.
Meeting the needs of each family and always child-focused. The Safe Center under the Department of Child, Family, and Adult Services in Sacramento County. If you have questions about your upcoming appointment or need to reschedule, please contact us at 916-874-5009 or safecenter@saccounty.gov. Feel free to bring a blanket or support item to your visit.